The impacts of petrol subsidy removal and unification of Nigeria's foreign exchange markets are biting harder. These economic policies have pushed up food and transportation prices, with many Nigerians struggling to get by. To cushion the effect of the ballooning cost of living, President Bola Tinubu unveiled new interventions on Monday, the 31st of July. Gist Nigeria's Abayomi Adisa has been speaking with experts to dissect the president's plan and what they mean for you.
No matter how long you protest, we are going to remove subsidy. The first subsidy is gone. And there is no doubt that is tough.
The president is a bit hasty in taking actions.
But I urge you all to look beyond the present temporary pains and aim at the larger picture.
Where is President Tinubu's economic plan?
Since fuel subsidy was removed on petrol on May 29th, Nigerians have seen skyrocketing prices that have continuously dwarfed their incomes.
I was trekking down from area 1 to area 8. When I asked a taxi, he told me it's 500, which I don't have such amount.
The cost of living these days is very high.
Inflation is at double digits and businesses are crawling.
Lagos is popular for traffic log jams, but what is happening today is that many people can no longer afford to put their cars on the road. The empty roads tell the grim story of a struggling middle class in a depressed economy.
53-year-old Usman Kawu is the father of 8 in Yola, the capital of Adamawa State. He says life is becoming unbelievably difficult.
Since morning we didn't take anything. I went out to get something. I even came back without anything. So I don't know.
He has had to pull some of his kids out of school.
We are seeing them, we are feeling very sad for them that not going to school, but we can't do otherwise.
Usman's story resonates with many poor families in Nigeria. Some are running out of steam and are doing the unthinkable to survive. On the 30th of July 2023, some residents broke into government and private facilities in Adamawa State, cutting away food and other items. Authorities described them as hoodlums. Sadly, 5 persons were killed. With searing tension on the street, authorities announced 10,000 naira palliative to civil servants and pensioners for 6 months.
It will never change anything to me and my family.
Like Adamawa, some other states are also beginning to roll out palliative measures. But the pains being felt by all seem unassuaged.
Fellow citizens, I want to talk to you about our economy.
On the 31st of July 2023, President Bola Tinubu rolled out measures he hopes will cushion the hardship.
But what does President Bola Tinubu's plan? What does it really mean? Let's break it down one after the other. One of the plans directly addressed food price inflation in Nigeria.
In short and in immediate terms, we will ensure stable food are available and affordable.
President Tinubu targets the release of 200,000 metric tons of grains from strategic reserves to households across Nigeria's 36 states and Abuja to moderate prices. Kabir Ibrahim is the national president of All Farmers Association of Nigeria. He fears that this plan might not have much effect on food prices.
Our capacity is 1.3 million metric tons. We should be able to distribute like 700,000 metric tons, and we can crash the prices in the market.
As an active player in the agri sector, Kabir says the The 200 billion naira intervention to cultivate 500,000 hectares of land will not bring immediate respite that many Nigerians desperately yearn for.
The early maturing maize of whatever quality will not take less than 90 days to mature. And it can't come to the market until it is dry, harvested and dry. So I personally do not expect any miracle this year.
Another part of President Tinubu's plan seeks to address businesses and companies in Nigeria. He announced 125 billion naira to support micro, small and medium-sized enterprises and the informal sector. The plan also includes funding 100,000 SMEs and startups with 75 billion and another 75 billion naira to strengthen the manufacturing sector. Dr. Chinyere Almona is Director General of the Lagos State Chamber of Commerce and Industry.
How did we decide on the number 75? Is that enough? What kind of engagements, produced this 75?
Dr. Almona adds that the private sector was not consulted before the president laid out his plans.
The chamber has constantly spoken to governments on changes that we want to see. Bits and pieces of conversations have gone into the statement, but there wasn't a structured engagement before the speech.
One of the problems clogging the wheel of SMEs and MSMEs in Nigeria is access to funding. President Tinubu's plan provides some.
It would have been great to have a holistic picture, and then we know there's a plan that we're working with.
Now to transportation. President Tinubu plans to invest 100 billion naira to import 3,000 CNG buses. In a country with 6.7 million registered commercial vehicles, how much respite can the president's proposed 3,000 buses bring to Nigerians? Professor Samuel Odewumi is the Dean Faculty of Transportation at the Lagos State University.
Of all the population of the mobility means, that is the means by which you move around, 95 to 98% is driven by informal public sector. The point that government is tweaking is the 5%. But the real big elephant in the room for our people's transportation and mobility is the 95. That 95 must be addressed.
To crash bus fares, the academic wants government to do much more.
Security for Nigeria today is a very crucial thing. To getting the route where people will pass is very crucial. Then in the long run, we have to address the concern. Meet the National Road Transport Workers Union, meet the NATO, meet the COMTUA, meet the RTN, that is Road Transport Employers Association of Nigeria.
On a microeconomic scale, Dr. Ayo Teriba, one of Nigeria's foremost economists, says the two key policies of exchange rate stabilization and removal of fuel subsidy of the President Tinubu's administration are superficial and are only scratching the surface of Nigeria's economic problems.
The problems are deeper than the superficial responses it's bringing on. There is no way you will want to unify the exchange rate of the Naira and not reorganize the Central Bank of Nigeria. That is superintending over a lot of opacity in that sector.
Dr. Teriba explains why petrol prices may not come down in the nearest future.
The NNPC plays upstream, it plays midstream, NNPC plays downstream, it has distribution outlets. It's dominant, it has more or less a monopoly power downstream. And you want, to remove subsidy and then see price come down. In the absence of competition, prices will not come down.
To accelerate growth, he says the administration's reforms must be holistic.
Break NNPC up into its upstream component, midstream component, and downstream component. And they should be functionally separated. And it should be accountable and transparent.
As Nigeria continues on the path of economic recovery from the scathing fallout of petrol subsidy removal and foreign exchange crisis, experts say Usman and millions of other vulnerable Nigerians may have to continue to endure months of rising costs of living. Abayomi Adisa, Gist Nigeria.
Here is hoping the president's plans are executed to make expected impact. What do you make of President Bola Tinubu's proposed interventions to ease current economic challenges? Let us know on Twitter at Gist Nigeria TV.